Hello. Hello everyone. So today I'm gonna fix some stuff with the input. I'm gonna show you what I mean. What is like so essentially gonna combine all the gamepads so that it looks to the game as if I only have one gamepad because I realized that, I mean, the game is supposed to come out in a few days, but I have realized that, let's see here, if you have two gamepads connected, it doesn't really work right now because it just picks the first one that it finds that's available. If we look in Raylib, Raylib supports max Raylib supports up to 4 gamepads, so that's all we need to worry about. So just gonna make this text a bit comfier size. That thing left. So I'm thinking that we're gonna do this. I have currently in my game, I'm gonna just check that we don't have yeah, we have a clean git repo. So in my game I currently just do this first gamepad, and it's like it just goes through. I didn't even know Raylib supported max 4. I just looped up to the first 5 and tried to check which one is available, and then it returns that. But that means that I have these two here now. There's an old PS3, PS4. Doesn't work so good with both connected. So we're gonna look at that and try to make that work nicely. Yeah. So my idea here is to Raylib, you know, supports 4 gamepads. So what I'll do is I have my gather input code here, which sort of checks, oh, did the player press the binding for jump? So this B here is my gamepad bindings. So you know, it can be like left, right, climb down, jump, use, whatever. Yeah. So that's sort of what it usually does. But what I want to do here is I want to keep all this code the same, so that you can just do like where's the jump button is always a good example. So I want to keep this code the same, just that it maybe I'll swap out here like something like gamepad is gamepad button down, and then it's something like that, or maybe take some parameter here. That's the sort of I will take all the 4 gamepads and make them appear as one, and try to do that properly. So yeah, because then I don't need to do minimal changes to this stuff. I just need to change the calls here, what they do. That's just fun. Hello, who are? Hello. So I'm thinking that I have my input struct, right? This guy. Maybe here I can have like input gamepad, and then the funny thing about gamepad things is like you have pressed, released, and held down. And the funny thing is, if I press the one button on here and then release and then press down the same button on this one, it's funny, this thing presses enter in the code. That's very strange. There must be some Steam input thing. So if I press this and then press down that and let go of this, then I don't want that to trigger the... you know, I only want to trigger the up event once. So I press this down. This made an event for the X button there. And then I press this one down. That did not trigger an event because I'm pretending that all gamepads in the system is the same gamepad, because my game only has one controller. And this way you could, if you accidentally, I want to use my other controller, or maybe you're on your Steam Deck and you put it in the dock, and then suddenly it should connect to your Xbox controller that you have wirelessly hooked up to a USB hub to your Steam Deck on your TV. Then that one will just work. You can even switch, take up your, like, because I'm not sure what happens with the Steam Deck when it's docked, if it disables the controller or not. But anyways, it's not important. The important thing is that all the gamepads used to appear as one gamepad to the game. So I'm gonna try to do something like that. And so when you press X on the gamepad, then the pressed thingy happens, right? And then if you press X on the other one while it's still held down, then it doesn't get pressed again. And then if you let go of one while the other one is still down, then you don't get the up until both are up. That's just making it that way is just to make it like robust, essentially. And I wonder if I can I wonder what the best way to do this is. Maybe it's like gamepad button. Okay, so there's two things here. I have accesses. There's access and buttons. For the buttons, I can store their state, pressed, released, down. And for the access, I probably just have to take the one that has the biggest press, maybe. I don't actually even support the trigger, so I can ignore those, but so I only need to check these really. And these are like left X, left Y is that's the left analog stick. I can just check like which one has the biggest sort of you know, it goes to minus on the left when you do like that, and then goes plus when you go like that. So I can just take the absolute value of that, and it's funny, I can go around with my gamepad in my code, and this is very strange. It's like using the analog stick. There's a new kind of programming here with gamepad. There's also a touchpad on this PS4. I just think it's amusing. So I'm thinking something like that. So I'm not exactly sure what's the best way to do this, but I will figure it out as I go. I think the tricky thing here is that there's 4 gamepads, so I almost need to store the state of like the down state of all of them, and when the downs, if the down state head down is that they're being held down. If they're being held down in the previous frame and then this frame none of them held down, then that's sort of a pressed event, right? I wonder what happens in Raylib. Do I get when I get pressed, which is that it went down that frame, is it also held that frame, or is that the next frame? That's a good question, because I could in theory abuse just the held state, right? Because I could just store the current and the previous state of held, I think, and then figure out everything from that, I think. Have to minimize that. I'm just gonna, oops, that's fine. let's check that assumption before we do anything. What does the held state do? So we go to update. If rl.is gamepad button down, right face down. This is the X button on the game PlayStation controller. X down. This and down here means held. I don't really like. I think if I were to design a thing like Raylib, so you have pressed down and up. I think down and pressed, I don't like that names, because it's when you don't see both at the same time, you can easily confuse them. I think is key pressed, released, and held, I think is better. But pressed, and this is down, pressed, and then we will also I will just write the time when this happens, so I know it's the same frame. Otherwise, if it happens on different frames, then if it happens on different frames, what is this one complaining about? Oh, of course, I need a first gamepad. This was my little example I did before. What did it say? So like this. Okay, good. And then we compile, and now he's gonna check what this. It's not that one, is it this one? Okay, let's see here. I pressed X down. This is the same frame. It got pressed, then it's down, and then it's down for a while. Hello, Domino Kiddo. Okay, so then I at least know. Then I know that pressed and down happens on the same frame. Input. Okay, so maybe then all we need to do is like can we just do something super simple like this? Gamepad down, and then we max gamepads is 4, because that's what it is in Raylib. And then I usually don't do 2D arrays, but this is maybe one of times when I want to do it. Gamepad button. Here's an enum, so we can say the length of gamepad button. So then I get one list of, for each gamepad I get a list of buttons that are down. How many is that? It's like 4 times. Yeah, it's fine. old input. This is some crap I have here, but okay, we can do like this maybe. Old game. I'm not sure if this is gonna work. So my idea here is to just have all these down things, and if the previous frame for a specific button nothing was down, then but now there is something down, then this frame something has been pressed. And if the previous frame there was something, like if I look at, actually maybe this should be reversed like this. So for each button yeah, I think this maybe is better. So now I can, wait, what am I even storing? There's no type on this. It's like 2D array of nada. So now I can be like, okay, for the left, like maybe for the X button here, it stores if any gamepad currently has down press down. And then yeah, hopefully I can figure everything out from that. So let's try. Old gamepad equals input dot gamepad old gamepad down. And then of course I will need on here some kind of gamepad pressed, which should be wait, I don't, why am I doing, this is like you can do an enumerated array like this, I think, in Odin. So you just say the type of the enum here. Gamepad pressed, gamepad released. Okay. Then you have these things. Hello, Louis. You missed this. I have two gamepads. Yeah, but my game is single player, and some people will have two gamepads connected to the computer, so I'm just trying to make it so that my game combines whatever these two do into one thing, right? So that there is I can pretend in my gameplay code as if there is one gamepad on the whole computer, but it might actually be two different gamepads, which means I could in theory use both at once, but that's not the point. The point is that I can pick up any of my gamepads and stuff just works. So then I have pressed, released. Pressed and released will be calculated each frame. Down I will have to keep between frames, or rather I will have to keep the previous frames down. That's what I'm doing here. Previous gamepad down is input.gamepad down. Okay, and then we do for be in, can I do rl.gamepad button like this maybe, and then for each button I will do another loop that goes for I in you go from 0 to max gamepads. There's just 4 max gamepads. This will be like the number of buttons times the number of gamepads each frame. It's not a lot. It's like, what can it be? Yeah, this is like 18 times 4, 47, like 72, or no, I don't know. That's not important exactly the number, but for what is 18 times 4? So, oh, it was 72. I just said something that felt good. Okay, and then we check if old gamepad down, and then we check BI. That means, wait, we need to, How do I do this best? I need to somehow figure out what happened the previous. Wait, I need to collect everything for the current frame first. So let's maybe do that. Let's do like input dot gamepad down equals rl dot is gamepad button down b. But that this code is wrong now, because this will overwrite if no, this is correct, because it just checks for this frame. Like this is, there will be 4 different held states for this button, and then of course here we need to do I, so because this is I32 like this, because in Raylib you use a number, like you can have up to 4 gamepads, so this will loop from 0, 1, 2, 3, and then throw in the the gamepad in there, the gamepad sort of number it will throw in there. Okay, is gamepad down. Okay, so now we know, now we've collected the down state for this button. Maybe and then we can keep that until next stream and use it here. And now maybe we just need to sort of do I need to do something like this maybe? Was down. Was down is a bool. Down is a bool. And then we do like if rl.is gamepad button. Hello Marcus Scepter. Oh, you bought my game? Thank you. Bought it on itch. I guess that's the only place you can buy it currently. Thank you so much, and that you liked it. There will be, I'm currently when I released on Steam, it will also be sort of a new version that has lots of improvements. I will put that one on itch where you bought it also. Maybe not like immediately, because I need to build it and upload it there as well, and I will be very busy. But maybe I'll do it on Wednesday or something, a day after I release on Steam. Maybe I'll put it up on itch, the patch, or maybe the same night if I have time. Actually, yeah, we can do like this. Gamepad is an I32. Gamepad is less than max gamepads. So I don't have to cast it here. Let's call it GP. Oh no. GP. Marcus says that there was a bunch of transition scenes where you thought you thought the game was going to end, but then it went on. Oh, that's nice that it felt like there was more to it than you. You thought, because you've been watching my stream, so you thought when you land on the desk that's sort of the end, because that may be, yeah, no, there's more to it than that. Do you know how long it took for you to play the game? Because I usually say it takes between 30 and 60 minutes. There are especially streamers who talk a lot that go over, like I had one person who played it for like 1.5 hours or something. But it's, yeah, short game. So wait, what am I doing here? Why am I checking this twice? Yeah, okay, so here I need to be like old gamepad down. B GP. Oh, you said it felt like hour and 20 minutes. Oh, then you took your time, but that's good. As there are some people who say it's good to take your time. I don't know what I typed there. I wrote max gamepad. No, that's correct. Yeah. I don't know why I bothered with this. For GP in 0 ... max gamepads. I just need to cast it once here. But that's super nice that you liked it. It's very. I'm currently getting some. I've sent out the game to some curators as well on Steam, so people can play the pre-release version. And so far I've gotten good reviews, which is very fun. So if we check the old gamepad state, and if any of those is set for these buttons, we're looking per button here. Then we say was down equals true. Ah, you got stuck. Oh, what did you got? You can. I don't want to spoil the game too much in the chat, but that's good that you got unstuck at least. So we check each gamepad button, and if any of them was down, this is the order of the previous frame. If any of them was down, then we say it was down, and then we do like this here. If this one is true, then we say down equals true. So if it was down and it's currently still down, then that doesn't matter. But now we can just do some checks here. If not was down and then down, this is pressed. And if was down and then not down, this is release. So it's so funny that I somehow not using the. We'll see how this goes. As far as my feeling is that I won't need to use the gamepad button pressed proc in Raylib at all. But we'll see. And here we then just say input.gamepad press gamepad pressed b equals true. Oh, wait, what's this? It was down and now it's not down. Then it's released. Louis asks, are you trying to make down check separate from press check? Since press check is only true once, what about just put down check in an else block after the press check? Oh, you mean you mean else between here and here? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I could be like if down. This is simple and easy to understand for me. So it wasn't down and now it's down. It was down and now it's not down. Then it's released. Okay. Okay, I think that's, unless I'm crazy, we haven't done the axis yet, but we'll get to that. But let me just try this with the jump button here. If input dot is, wait, what's that? Oh, this is is gamepad button down. Oh, this is jump held. Let's try the pressed. If input dot gamepad pressed, and then we just do that. So this is, it takes my binding. The binding goes from my sort of virtual jump key to the actual Raylib key, which is what I am storing. Let's try compile and see what happens. That compile on first try. Not bad, not bad. Okay, let's see here. I can't jump. Can I jump with this one? No. Okay. Let's see what I'm getting wrong here. Well, first thing is that I should clear all the... wait, I should probably do this. Clear input. Yeah. Because otherwise the stuff in gamepad down will never be cleared, so it is stuck there forever. That's not gonna be any good. I can jump. I can jump with any gamepad. And let's see here. Right. So that means that I'm just trying to think here if I can test all this in some funny way. I want to double check which. Well, I guess if it works, it works. But do I ever use released? Gamepad button released. Okay, I never use released. Nowhere in my game do I use released. Nope. Well, then we don't need it. Bye-bye. Super easy to add back later if I need it, but I don't need code that I don't need. Okay. So that's very nice. I thought it was going to be more no one can tell me if I've missed anything here, but since button down is true on the same frame you get the release, then... And I think button down, we can also check in the Raylib code here. Yeah, so if your gamepad has been yanked, if you press it down and then yank out the cable of the gamepad, then that gamepad would stop being available, which will make it so that it will seem like it went up, which is sort of what you want also. Okay, so we have... That's quite nice, we never use released. Gamepad button down. Okay, so let's try... We still need to do the access, but let's just try swapping all these out then. Input.gamepad down. It's annoying, I need to swap the parentheses on each of these. So So that will make it possible to walk with the... Oh, it got sad. Oh yeah, wait. I realized something. This is good for the separate gamepads, but it's not good for, like, this is all gamepads or something. I don't know. But we need one that's just down that we can use for the gameplay code, of course. So that complicates it a tiny bit, but it's no biggie. Gamepad down, all gamepads. Okay, that's what I called it. Gamepad down, all gamepads. Let's call this one GP down, and then we say if GP down, then down equals true. Good. And this is, we need to swap this one out, and we will need to say old gamepad down, old gamepad down, all. Wait, can I use a better name? Gamepad down. Let's just call it all, like that. Like that. Good. Right. Then it checks if it's down. And now I can do this. If down, then input dot gamepad down for B equals true, and then I can check if not, if it wasn't down, then we throw this guy in here, remove that. So now it's like it's currently held down, which means it's currently held down, but if it wasn't down before, then it was also just pressed. And this stuff sort of takes care of making it seem like one big gamepad. Oh. Let's see. I can walk with that one, and I can walk with this one. Let me try. Can hold the button, pull it out. So that's all good. And now what happens if I hold both at the same time? Let go of, what the hell happened there? Oh, this is a bug with that it's not the running animation stuff. We're gonna fix that. This is problems with the we'll get to that. But now at least I can like I can hold both and release one of them, but it's only when I release the last one that what happens if this is interesting. I hold both down, then I yank out one cable. Yeah, it all works. I don't know if there's gonna be any problem. I honestly can't see why this method wouldn't work. To just use the down state. Never call anything but is gamepad button down for the buttons. And of course here it gets the first gamepad currently. It's not supposed to do that anymore. This whole if statement here needs to disappear. Here we have a problem. B is used twice now. Okay, I will keep this handle gamepad input. I will keep the scope for now. There's the axis movement. Look at that soon. we can do like this also. Input.gamepad down pressed is input gamepad pressed. Get this out so that I have a nice short way to write all this. Then I can just write like this. I mean, I could even no, that's good enough. Here's the pressed. So essentially I can just multi-select now. I think this is the last down actually. Then I can multi-select these pressed ones here. And then let's see if I can do this in one. And then to the end of the line, back 2 steps, put that thing on there. No, wait, it's the, I'm missing the B on, oh no, yeah, there's some of these look directly at the Raylib bindings and some go via the other binding. Now this poor one doesn't have any GP anymore. Okay, let me I'll add this back temporarily. We will fix the what's it called, the we will fix the axis stuff soon. I'm just gonna take a good look at the git diff here to see that I didn't mess anything up with the changes. It's very easy to check. Down, yes, down, pressed, down, down. Is jump, pressed, 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 pressed. Yeah, that all looks good. So now I can use the bumpers here, and I can use them on this one. So I can essentially go to the right on this one, and if I press both, it's sort of nothing happens. So that's all good. That's all good. This is sort of turning out simpler than I thought it would, which is interesting. Okay, let's look at access now. And then after we look at access, there is a few other special cases in the code we need to take a look at, but yeah, you'll be fine. So for the access, we will simply do this. Let me see. So I don't currently support rebindable access, which is a problem. I don't know if I have time to do that. I support rebinding all the buttons, but you can't rebind so that you can run with another axis than the left analog stick, which I know is a good thing to support that, like for accessibility, but we'll see. So here essentially I get the left X and left Y axis. That's all there is to it. So in a sense, all I need to do here is gamepad left X is an F32. Gamepad left Y is an F32, right? And then I just go in here. I can do that here maybe. I go over all the gamepads and then I check what's the name of the proc. Is get gamepad axis movement. It's a weird name. Why is it called movement and not like? Because it's, I mean, it's held still at the position. It's a bit weird. It's called movement, but that's fine. So I'm just gonna check in the Raylib source. Yeah, it checks if it's ready. So you don't actually, when you use this procs, you don't need to check if this gamepad is available because it does that for always. It's just, there's no point. What we'll do here is if abs of x is bigger than abs of input dot what's it called? Gamepad left x. Then input dot gamepad left x equals x. And if y is bigger, let's move this here. If y is bigger than gamepad left y, then y. So there we go. Because these go from -1 to 1. So I always want to see if you have two of these gamepads, which one am I pulling the analog stick furthest away from 0, and that one's gonna be the one that wins, sort of. Let's try use it. Marcus is asking, do you just loop through collision objects one by one when you do axis line bounding box collision in your game? Yeah, kinda. Here is the physics code for the player, and it's like it does fixed step physics, the fixed time step physics, which I kind of repaired this code in our previous stream. But here it goes over all colliders. I could probably add in a little some kind of quick culling here, but to be honest, it goes over every collider in the world for the player. But since my player is the only one that has collision in my game, if I had 200 actors running around with actual physics, then I would have to figure out a better system for this. But just doing this like this here, if it's only for the player, it doesn't matter. But you have to think about, yeah, if you support physics for more things than just your player, then you need something smart. Maybe then you need to think about like acceleration structures and putting objects to sleep and stuff, and do something smart here. But in this case I can just do this, doesn't matter. The game update code takes like 300 microseconds. And then the rendering takes like a few milliseconds, and then it mostly waits for VSync after that. Oh yeah, you can take it since you bought an itch, you can actually take a look in the source code. That's true. Okay, and here now, so we have fixed so we get the biggest gamepad sort of axis thing. Is now you swap this for input.gamepad left x. And here we swap it for input.gamepad left y. Is there any other axis here? Nope, these are only two calls to get gamepad, and then there would be something wrong, of course, here. A little casting going on. Let's see. Yeah. It's running. And this one is broken, but I will look at that soon. I'm not exactly sure, but... And here's funny, I can hold this one sort of halfway, and then if I start pulling the other one, and the moment I pull it a bit more, then it starts running the other direction. Because it starts winning over the other one. So I can hold on one to go one way, and then I hold the other one. So that's all cool. So the axes work now. Let's look through the code for is gamepad button down. No, okay, I know that is gamepad button pressed happens in 2 press. I have some silly code. I don't think this code should exist. I think something is wrong here. I think this is a little hackeroni I did. In-game menu update. That one. It's 3 calls to, but this is only in the menu. We can look at that. Let's look at animation first, because that's the most important thing, I think. Why doesn't the animation run? Like with this one it runs, but with this one very strange. It sort of, I'm gonna look at that. What's gather input? We can print the X value all the time just to see. It's 0. Okay, put it there. 0, 0. That's 1. Okay. -1. 2, 1. Okay, that's good. Because it sort of walks when I hold it a bit, but then when I hold it completely, then it stops. Oh, this is some Steam input stuff happening. This gamepad, it's messing with it because it's also, I think it's, yeah, so here's the bug. If I hold down left arrow key and that one at the same time, so we're gonna look at, why does my Steam input happen? I'm just gonna bring up Steam here on another screen. Try to see. I seem to have some kind of, here's my, why is it, it's the same thing as, like, you know, it's pressing buttons here and stuff. Why is it doing, and will it do that for everyone? Okay, I will look at that a bit later. Let me just try to fix this thing where you can make the cat slide. This is a bug, so like, why does it stop animating in that case? That's interesting. So X is this thing. Oh, because gamepad stops being true. That's why. Like this, gamepad is... It's a field I have. If it should do... If it should do... if it should use the gamepad or not. But why does that... Okay, let's check where this is used. Input.gamepad. Yeah. It's false, but that's fine. Draw binding. Clear input. Now we're back here. Is there something in animation code? No. Okay, let's go to case player state normal. Okay. Aha. It's this stuff. So this guy is like... Okay, I get it, I think. It only... Animation speed is input.x. Okay. Does it stop doing that when I... Okay, so if I left... It's if I continuously... Yeah, it's not so weird. It's if I continuously hold down the right arrow key and the arrow key. But okay, why would that matter though? Player state normal. Weird. But this is the stuff that's... Animation speed here. Okay, what? Let me print that one. Why would you... Like, I could get that it would stop if I pressed the arrow key the wrong direction, but I need to... There's some other prints I need to remove. Not you. You! Yeah, so now it does. Oh, does it add up somehow? Oh, I think I know why. Input.x equals... What does this thing down here do? Yeah, so it adds up. You know what? I think I should just do the keyboard stuff first and then do the gamepad, because the gamepad, see here. Yeah, this is all crap, but because then it will be easier to. I think there's more special cases sort of the other way around, because if, oh wait, maybe not, maybe this, yeah, this will also break stuff, I realize, because now the X input will be, now you can no longer run with the keyboard, I think. Oops, because now I can only run with this, because there is no gamepad. Okay, so actually this made it worse. I'm gonna undo all that. Guess I could do something ugly like this. Gamepad. Actually. Try something. I'm just gonna try this, see how it goes, because then you must you can't override the gamepad anymore with the keyboard, which sort of, for my intents and purposes, sort of fixes it. These two clouds have sort of synced up. The clouds go in a slightly different speed. And those two have like synced up in a weird way. That looks funny. Yeah, so maybe that's... Yeah, I'll probably just keep it like that. That fixes that. What more was broken? I'm just gonna feel, so this feels good. So there's nothing. As far as I know, this is all good. Oh yeah, there was the thing with the PlayStation 4 controller. You see the hints down here sometimes change, because something is making the PS4 controller appear as a keyboard. Oh, here is this again. Ah, crap. This is so broken. Let me just, if input.x is less than 0.3, I need to figure something better out for this. If I can just do something like this. Like this is this gamepad input.gamepad. This is true over many frames. It's just it's essentially which type of input did you most recently used, gamepad or not. But this is if something happened this frame. So maybe that's what I should do. It's not very pretty, but and then I can look later at so now this all works. Yeah, now the gamepad sort of okay. I will look at my Steam input things later because I don't find it interesting, so I will just keep that for later. Okay, so we fixed all that. Now it's just these stray is gamepad button pressed things here. This is in the main menu, and I'm not sure what's going on here. Why are you looking directly on this button? Like, because if I go to input up, gather input and have a look, then I have here almost everything. Left face down, UI select, left face, right face down, UI select. These are used here so that you can, like, no matter what silly bindings you do, you can always use these. So that's sort of you can also use the analog stick and stuff in the UI, but these are here sort of so that you can always use these things in the UI. So let me look at that again. Right face right, right face right. Which more? It's in the main menu. We're looking at, if you press that, essentially on the PlayStation, the circle, which is usually the leave the main menu button, leave the menu button. Then it's in the gamepad bindings button. Yeah, this is, of course, this is, oh wait, this doesn't, yeah, this thing won't work either. This is for rebinding things in the settings. And then in-game menu update. Yeah, this one even runs gather input. So I even have, I can just check like this. Input dot gamepad pressed right face what? Right. Yeah. So that should work. Yeah, I don't need the first, so we can remove the first gamepad proc, because I mean that's essentially broken. Is gamepad button pressed? So this is the next one. This is called from the main menu. The main menu runs, wait, the in, wait, the main menu runs with update default, because the in-game menu just draws the stuff in the world and then draws the, I can show the different menus. So the in-game menu is this one. What it does, it stops updating the world. So you see, this is how, like, how is the, because if I wait, did it jump when I, yeah, I'm gonna fix that so it clears that input. But hello random command. Yeah, it's actually already out on itch. I mean, I released it on itch like January 28th, but the version that's coming out on Steam has lots of updates and it has achievements and stuff. I will post the update on Steam on itch, like the patch. I will put up a new version on itch when I release it on Steam. The only thing that's not gonna be in there is the achievements are not gonna be in the itch version. So anyways, what happens here is when you're in the in-game menu, then it runs draw default and then the in-game menu. But if you're in the main menu, then it's quite different. So, oh, this is broken. This will be interesting. You see, I pressed the yeah, something is broken here. If I press the analog down, then it just goes crazy. Look at that. The main menu actually uses a level that I want to animate in the background. So then in the main menu it actually runs update default because it's just a level I built. I can even look at the level. This is the main menu here. Looks like that. So in the case of main menu update, it has actually already gathered all the input. So I can just go back here and be like input. Wait, was it pressed? Yes, input dot. Random command is the reason not advertise the itch link. I think it's just these last few weeks when I tried to release it on Steam, I've been trying to get some people to go wishlist it on Steam. But before that, like I did used to put both links, the Steam page and the itch page. I just haven't done that the last few weeks. It is partially to get attention for the Steam release, but also I think I just been so focused on the Steam release that when I've edited the what's it called, the YouTube descriptions of the video, I kind of almost forget about it sometimes. Okay, now GP is declared but not used. And now we have one left. Is gamepad button pressed? Thank you, random command. Yeah, I think it will be. I think it will. The release will go okay. I mean, I've practiced once. You can even, if you go on my YouTube channel, you can find there's a old live stream I did when I released it on itch, and you can go look at that. I'm very stressed because I had essentially been up all night working on it because the itch release was rushed. I didn't have, yeah, I put the release date too early. So I had to work so much on it. So if you look at that video, I'm like, I can't concentrate on anything. Okay, now the last one here is gamepad bindings menu. And here it says, is gamepad button pressed, first gamepad pressed key. Can't I just do this here? Input dot gamepad pressed key. Wait, what's this? If pressed key, what's the point of this? It gets... I'm trying to understand the point of this, because this is a Raylib proc that just returns the last gamepad button pressed. Oh, because it stays true over many frames, so it checks if it happened this frame. I see. Right, try compile that, see if everything works now. And this Let's see if what happened there. Why did it just press twice? So I press options and then it jumps straight into keyboard bindings, which means that key was sort of pressed twice. Have I made an error here? I take all the old gamepad input. Something's wrong. Now check if it check if it's down. If it was down this is just if it's pressed, and this is if it's, yeah, something is wrong. UI select, yes, this one. How can UI select be true for 2 frames? Who is I'm gonna restart to see if I don't. Something strange is going on. So it's all this stuff that this one goes crazy. Then it wait, am I just doing the wrong thing here? What have I messed up? What have I messed up? Let me just check something here. Let me disable the keyboard navigation completely. Just to double check that. Okay, so it's something with the gamepad stuff. Is this even used? UI down held? No. Check if it's this stuff that's spooking it. Just remove encode until get it working again. Oh, it died. No, it's still broken. if pressed. Left face down. It's these two. UI up, UI down. Okay. Let me try this. Well, I'm getting a bunch of pressed events, so something is wrong. Hello, August. Yeah, it's Odin. I'm getting a bunch of pressed events. Why? Let me think here. This is just this array I can copy like that, so that's fine. So if it was down the previous frame, it is currently down and it wasn't down. Why doesn't this work? Check this. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. If old gamepad down is copying the array, or if it's just copying the pointer. That's why I was looking at it. But it's this is sort of like this kind of array should just copy by value really, but maybe when it's a 2D array. Yeah, I think it copies this one, but these are still the same, maybe. You know what I can do to make it all easier? Wait, I can't do that. How do I copy a 2D array properly? Because I think you're right. I think it's this one is always cleared. You can do like this. But I'm just unfamiliar with the shouldn't I see update default in-game menu update default. Yeah, but in C, if you have like this in C, if you have like something is a for long array of int, and then you say something else. All right. Something else is a for. Oh yeah, I think you're right actually. Yeah, I don't use the arrays all that much. So what I'll do here is something like this. Could just mem copy it. How do I? Can I copy easily? Copy an array easily somehow? I don't want to do a mem copy. There's supposed to be a copy slice. Yeah, this is what I want to do. Destination from source. Okay, let's try this. Where was that? Okay. Is there a... Where is this used? Yeah, I can just do something like this. I don't think I need to type the runtime. This is destination and then input dot gamepad down all, something like that. I think that should work. Forgot the B. So this will make a slice of both these and copy them over. Still seems broken though. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, no wait. From this one to this one, it copies. For each button, it copies all these, and then it resets the input. Why wouldn't that work? Screw it, I don't have time for this. I'm very confused. Was it ever down before? No, this never happens. Oh great, I can't turn off the program either because I... Very confused. Clear input just resets the whole input state like this. But it doesn't do much. It just keeps track of the if the gamepad is used or not. But I mean, it will clear gamepad down all. But that's why I'm copying them over before running clear input, right? Interesting. Let's see if there's ever anything in this or if I've totally messed something up. Left face up. Yeah, there's never any data in that one, so that's the problem there. There's never any data in this one, but I set it here. And I mean, input is a global thingy that lives on. The scary thing is when stuff runs. Actually, maybe it's something with stuff. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, I know what it is. I'm running clear input in the middle of the frame. Why would I ever do that? That's so stupid. I run clear input in a lot of places. I think I tend to do it in menus sometimes to make sure that I run it in menus sometimes to make sure that keys are not sort of propagate into the sub menu, but then I should just be able to, I mean, if that's what I want to do, then I should do this. Right, I think I've just been lazy maybe and be like, I just clear the whole input state, who cares? You know. Where did my game go? Yeah, now it works. And now you see something changes there. Now that old input thing is I mean, this stuff. This doesn't do anything. This just creates a local variable this is just a local variable to keep the input while it's resetting the whole input. It's not, it doesn't exist outside this one. But I mean, I think I've just been lazy in these cases. I think it should just be this. And I just need to find these different. UI select, okay. UI select equals false. I'm probably gonna do some bug testing and figure out that actually yeah, if it's so in Odin, if it's like hello some string, this is this makes a new variable, so it actually the syntax is more like you can type like this. This is hello is a string with this value, but if you want to infer the type, then you just skip the, so this makes a new variable. But if you do like that, then there must be a variable already with this name, which might be the case if there's a global. You want to update. What button is this trying to clear then? Skip. Yeah, here I skip. I think this came from this kind of stuff where there's two different buttons that can do the same thing. Oh well, I'll just clear both instead. I hope I don't get into trouble get bugs from this. Do menu input.ui select equals false. I mean, maybe I should have like a proc that I can ask, is this input thingy true? If so, return true and also set it to false. But I need to clear these individual buttons, because it's like an EM GUI, and if it adds sometimes it adds something afterward, like what's this one doing, for example? Gameplay bindings menu. In this case, I don't think it matters. But now there's only one place where there's clear input, and it's in gather input, which means I could probably just remove it totally, but we'll see. So now this works fine, and I can go into menus and I can back out of them. Can I do gamepad bindings? I want to climb down on triangle instead, and I want to jump on square, and I want my use key to be the circle. Now here's a little problem in my game. When I bind this, you can bind the use keys to the same key as the go back key, and the go back key is sort of, I don't think any menu should ever respect anything. This is only in-game, so yeah, I think you should select a binding with this key and you go out with this key, and none of these keys do anything in the menu, but currently they do. I'm gonna look through that stuff later to see that I can fix it. Use, let's give it a cookie button. We go up. Oh, that was funny. I pressed the up key, and what happened there was that it both went up and pressed use. Now you have this funny. Inspect is on the up. Move this so you see. And that works fine. And I can jump on square instead now. And what was the last button? Oh, it was climb down. Let me reset that. see if I can climb down. Yeah, that also works. So that all works nicely. So there's a few funny things to fix. Now what I'm interested in is, let's remove some of these prints we littered our code with. What I'm interested in is this stuff here. Does this actually work, maybe? Let me see. Oops, quit the desktop. The bindings. I need to go into the menu and fix it. And I also need to go through my... You can really mess up your game like this. There we go. And this works fine. So this stuff here, you know, when you make a list like this, then this is sort of allocated as part of the memory of the input. The input does not get pointers here. It grows in size from this. It's sort of like, you know, having a hello 4 ints. You know, this will be make this the size of 4 integers bigger. Now in C, what happens in C is that this is also true, that's what will happen in C, but if you try to assign something to this value, so in C, if you try to assign something to, like, if I try to do this assignment here in C, so I try to create a new something that should be equal to the other one, then that would probably be like some kind of old gamepad down. All would probably be like some kind of pointer, like 2-dimensional pointer thingy of 2 lists or something, I think. But here it actually knows the type, that this one is sort of this fixed size array. It's even called an enumerated array when it uses enum, so you can use the enum values directly like this. And in that case, it can copy it straight off, because that's what you want, right? You don't want, like, if I am talking about arrays in this way, like, oh, I'm trying to talk about fixed size arrays, then you copy these by value. You don't get pointers to them. And it's also sort of makes sense, I guess, because there's no... I mean, there is a memory address of this array, and there is a memory address of this whole outer array. But that's not how it represents it. That's not how the code reasons about it, right? I think that makes sense. It's also the same reason why, you know, if you have a proc that takes calc something that takes a velocity that is a vec2. A vec2 is actually a fixed array of 2 floats. So when you call calc something with some vector in there, it gets copied in there, right? Yeah. You can do stuff like, if you have like a dynamic array and you want it to, if you type like this, then it will be a copy of the dynamic array, but the dynamic array of course contains pointers inside. off like the data block that it can grow dynamically. But if you do this, then you get a pointer to that instead. So if you want to this prop to be able to grow this dynamic array, then you do that. But in this case, it takes a copy of the dynamic array, or not really a copy. It does what it thinks is best. It will either be a copy. It will probably not be a copy. It will be a reference, but it will be immutable reference, so you can't change it. But anyways, but it all makes sense. That's why I got so confused, because I started thinking like C, and then I started doubting myself, and I was like, wait, does this not work? And then I realized, wait, that this stuff here is just like a vector. Like, of course I can copy a vector 2 from one thing to another. All right, so that's all good then. I sometimes get very confused on my own streams to the point where I hope, it's, how to say, you know, there are some streamers you can watch that always seem to know exactly what to do. I don't think they always know exactly what to do, but they make it seem like they always know exactly what to do. I sometimes quite obviously have no idea what I'm doing. But I feel like maybe viewers can appreciate that, because they can come along on my confused journey, and where I eventually land in clarity, and then I explain why it actually is like it is. Okay, here's my code for trying to auto detect the gamepad. This uses, so I want to remove first gamepad. So let's see, where is it used? It's used here. I think this one I can remove. Yeah. Wait, what happened? And let's re-enable all this code I turned off. I sometimes say that I'm not very smart, I'm just very stubborn. Which is why it takes a while for me to do things, but in the end I realize how to do it at least. First gamepad used in one place now. Okay. I think what I'm gonna do here is remove this proc and just do this. And we're gonna do, yeah, we're gonna do this for GP in 0 to max gamepads. Wow. Gonna do something like this, and then we're gonna say if not rl.is gamepad, what's it called, is gamepad, it was just there. Maybe for my next project I will try to use OLS. Is gamepad available? OLS is a extension. No, it's a language server that runs in the background and gives you code completion and stuff, which I for some reason don't use. Right. We can see if this code actually works by deleting our settings file. Where is the settings file? Where's the run window? I think it's behind the chat. Yeah, there it is. It was hiding. App data. Here's my app data folder with all my funny programs in. Here's the cat and onion folder. Here's the settings file. Let's delete that. Now if we start it, the default is Xbox because more people have Xbox controller than PlayStation controllers. But as you see, it shows me a PlayStation glyph here, which means the detection worked. That's probably because try auto detect. So it will try auto detect the gamepad the first time you start the game. You probably have your controller connected. I think even if you don't have your controller connected, maybe I should do something smarter where I add a flag that it has ever tried auto detect, because you don't want it to re-auto detect, so it overwrites you. You can override which gamepad type you have, so you get the different icons. Yeah, so I think this is actually okay. Then it will auto-detect the first time it actually finds a gamepad. No, it won't, because it doesn't know which gamepad type it is. Whatever. This is fine. It doesn't matter, really. I think, however, that if I do the same thing again, delete my settings file, and then unplug the unplug the PlayStation 4 controller and start. Now we'll have Xbox glyphs. There you go. That's an Xbox glyph, because this is the I mean, there's an X on both Xbox and PlayStation, but the X here, it means this one. So it's actually an Xbox glyph, because this is an old PlayStation 3 controller, and this doesn't appear to the game as a. Let's actually check what it does appear as. GP name. I think it might appear as nothing at all, actually, or something. Why did I get a settings file, though? Yeah, it says Xbox controller. Because this thing goes via a wrapper just to make it work, because there's no real Windows drivers for PlayStation 3 controllers and stuff. So it just makes Windows think it's an Xbox controller so that everything works nicely. Even the rumble works in it. This is from PlayStation 3. It's absolutely super old, but it works perfect. I've played many games with this. The other one is my girlfriend uses. So this is a PlayStation 4 controller, which works much nicer with Windows. But if you just have a driver wrapper, you can use a PlayStation 3 controller. I don't really understand, people say that they break their controllers all the time, that they're bad quality. I'm like, I don't know what I do. I mean, I played Elden Ring for 90 hours with this, and I played I think I have hundreds and hundreds of hours on this one, and then it had hundreds of hours of usage before that. And there's not a single thing wrong with it, and all the buttons work perfectly. So I don't know how people break their. I get, maybe it's like if they're like angry gamers that smack their controller in the table or something, throw it on the ground. I sometimes drop my controller on the floor because I pulled the cable, but anyways, so that's why, and this is why I like having this kind of option, gamepad icons. I can override. So now I can use my PlayStation 3 controller with the correct icons. Okay, new game. Let's fix the last thing there we saw, which is, wait, here's my, I need the cable again. I don't have Bluetooth in this computer, which maybe I should try, because maybe I have Bluetooth on my laptop. Maybe I can try. So let's try to fix this crap. But this is some, I think if I turn off Steam. No, that's Discord. Steam. Yeah, I turn off Steam and then it stops. It's some Steam input stuff. I'm gonna check later so it doesn't actually happen when you run my game via Steam. I hope not. I think it's just maybe for some reason Steam likes to make my controller work as if it was a keyboard, while it's also working as if it was a... Doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I think I have some weird settings. I don't think that's supposed to be like that. Is that it? Does everything work now except for that I will look into later? Let's play a bit here, see what happens. Talk to this guy. Can I pass through the caves? Okay. And I don't think this should introduce any kind of lag, right? Because I check if... I would check, was the controller down the last frame? If it wasn't, but it's down now, then that was pressed, which is exactly the same. I'm not introducing any lag, I think. Trying to jump here. You know, I kind of get the... what's it called? It's some bias or something where I'm like, oh, is it actually lag? Is this actually some input lag on the button press? But I don't think so. It's good. Pick this up. But everything seems to work fine. Inspect the waterfall. It's apparently called Sheriff Splishy Splashy. This stone has led a rocky life. It's my friend Squirrel. Oh, this is a bug. I think this might be from my input clearing. Let's try something here. If I say... I don't think this was like this. So if I click the inspect button, then it does something, but it also... I can press one button to remove the dialogue, it says. But then it also goes through and presses the button. Auto advance, it's called. That's the sort of special kind of dialogue that I think it's this stuff. You're saying a single line. I know. Yeah, this is a side effect of me not using the clear input stuff there. Because I have this dialogue skip, but that's not the same as use. So I have different virtual sort of things in my input. And I did that because there's a couple of different ways to get to dialogue skip. But so that's why it was like that. But actually it doesn't matter if I run clear input here, I think. It will just mess up, like it's only if you're... Wait, will it matter? Can I do this smarter somehow so I didn't have to remove any of these clear inputs? Like, when it comes to this point, here it must compare. Here it must compare the old state to the new state. It could carry over the old state. in clear input. Let me check something here. Can't I just carry over all these instead? And then manually clear them? Isn't that much smarter? Like this. Yeah, and then and then I do this, and then I do input dot gamepad down all equals nothing. This takes out a copy to, this clears it, and then if something clears the input during the frame at different points, doesn't matter because it brings along this stuff. I can't see why that wouldn't work. Let's try the, because I don't want to introduce too many bugs at this point. You know, it's a few days to shipping. I just realized this, I have this problem with not supporting multiple gamepads, so I didn't want to, I wanted to fix that. Let's go to the main menu code. And then go inside do menu, I think it's called. Here. And these two lines. We write clear input. Yeah, now that works. Yeah. So I think that's much better. Like, it's, you can argue it's not better because many reasons, but at this point everything that minimizes introducing new bugs is better, essentially. UI select. Isn't there like a fancy thing I can do like this? Then I can revert parts of this. Or is it like the git GUI? I'm gonna Google this. Git built-in visual hunk revert. I've done this before. Isn't it? Is it this thing? Wait, maybe I just... No? I really remember that there's a built-in git revert chunks built-in tool. Maybe I do git. Ah, here it is. No, I don't care about your loose objects. Yeah, this is the thing that where you can do fancy stuff. You can just go here and just do stuff like this. Revert. I think hunk is... Oops. Did it do too much there? Oh, the hunk is this thing. Fuck. Yeah, it reverted all this, but I see why now. Input of gamepad pressed key. It's very dangerous to do that kind of stuff, because you can easily ruin hours of work. Let's ruin hours of work. No, but it's just that the hunk, I think, it's all this from this thing down to the next one. What I can do, of course, is instead do like this, revert lines. Why did it jump so much? Yeah, this is sort of what I want to do. UI select. This one is fine. Revert that one. What if someone watching is sweating, seeing me maybe mess up all my work by using the tooling correctly? I think that's still correct. I was just scared when it suddenly jumped that much in. Looks good. Yeah, now it doesn't loop around like that anymore. Let me look through this a bit more. Actually easier to look at the terminal. Like this. Just make it bigger and then. Whoa. Let's restart that. Okay, so we removed first gamepad and we added these things. We added max gamepads 4. Gamepad down all the way, we copy it over in clear input. That's nice. We changed a lot of stuff in gather input, naturally. Change all these things. That's good. Looks good. Here we check gamepad pressed in the menu like that. Here we check if the gamepad button is pressed. Here we some more stuff. Here's the getting of, this is the auto detection of the gamepad type, and that's the end. Yeah, I'm just gonna double check that my reverting didn't mess anything up. Can I still I can hold the gamepad in different directions and pull out the cable and put it back in while I'm holding the button. Can jump with any gamepad. Can run sort of back and forth. Very good. Let's commit this before I ruin everything. Make all Raylib gamepads appear as one gamepad. Good. So that's all good. What I'm gonna look at the Steam input stuff later, but I will do that on my own because I need to fool around too much with Steam for my liking to do on stream. There was one thing left here I was thinking about. That was broken. What was that? Yeah, now I remember. It was how the menu uses weird bindings, and then how the... Oh, I remember now why this is... I think it's related to the dialogue. So the dialogue also sort of works like a menu. So you can go up to things and talk to them. And here it uses the use button, but you can also actually use the jump button, I think. Yeah. But I would like it so that maybe I want it so that the main menus always ignore all your bindings and they show some bindings. But I'll think a bit more about that later. There's actually another thing that's important that I need to do, which is I have one thing. My game runs perfectly on the Steam Deck, but one thing that is sort of banned on Steam Deck is to show any kind of keyboard stuff on the HUD by default. I think maybe they would still verify it, but the only problem is this stuff here, enter and ESC. So this should, if you're on the Steam Deck, you should not show this part. But that's easy to fix because I have a function see here if I can maybe do like this. If Steam Deck something here, Steam running on deck. Yeah, if Steam running on deck, so function, then selection text equals select, like that. Maybe it needs to be like that. And then we can, again, equals. Then we can fake being on the deck by just changing this proc, of course, to return true always. Wait. This is asking the Steam API if you're on the Steam Deck. I know. I'm not running with Steam integration enabled right now, so it's actually running these empty procs down here. So I need to change to true there, and then this will always go like that. And then we can go back here. This do the same thing here. Like that. And I think that's that. And then I think in the maybe there's something in the that's good. I mean, they don't care that there's keyboard bindings and stuff in here. It's just when the first thing you see in your game is this kind of stuff, and then they don't want keyboard stuff on the screen. I'm not sure if they're actually that picky with it, if as long as it actually also displays the gamepad stuff, but we'll see. So we have that done. Now it's this menu here, and here we have another one, esc/, yeah, so it's this one. This is the in-game menu, which works a bit differently. Yeah, it's all good. And now that this jumping when I press continue is fixed, by the way. If I use the jump button to press continue, because it clears the whole thingy correctly with clear input again. So this is all good. Yeah, I think we're good. oops, snap back on the. Something maybe I should fix is a better dead zone on the gamepad, because I do get some, especially like if I really snap the analog stick, then it can turn around afterwards. There's many ways to fix this, but you can also look at like, yeah, you can try to be smart or something, but maybe I just need a bigger. Trying to see how I'm feeling with my other finger, how. It almost goes like halfway sometimes when I do that. But it's just annoying when you run up to something and then let go. This configuration I have right now it's almost good. Let's check with the PlayStation 4 controller. Yeah, it's much better on the PlayStation 4 controller. I really have to do this to make it snap around, but almost it never happens when I just let go, which is the important part. Is if I smack it, then I can make it turn around. But this is a very old PS3 controller, and it's just a bit loose in the analog stick, I think. Yeah, I could have a configurable dead zone, but it's currently at 30% hard-coded dead zone. So the input goes between 0 and 1, and the first 0.3 is always ignored. Alrighty. Right, so I have the Steam input crap to look at, and then I have the what? What more was it? Steam input. That seems to make it appear like a keyboard, but that I'm not gonna do here. I can write that down. And then there was something else. Oh yeah, the menu binding stuff. Maybe that we can look at now. Menu uses binding. The menu uses binding. Well, the menu uses UI down, but UI down can be set in many ways. UI down can be set by... Actually, UI down can only be set by the analog stick. The problem is that UI select can happen with the use key bindings are a bit tricky, but like when it's annoying because you can make it so that the game, you can make it so that your bindings affect the menu as well, but then you can also accidentally change your bindings until you can't use the menu, and then you have to find the settings file and clear that, and not all users will know how to do that, so it's a bit tough. So I'll think about this. It's not that important, but yeah, I'll think a bit about it. I think that's it for today. Now, at least I got what I was supposed to get done. I fixed my gamepads are now all one, which is great because now I don't have to worry about like, oh, what if someone has 2 gamepads connected and try the first one, then it doesn't work, and then they think it's a keyboard only game or something. No. But anyways, thank you for watching. I will see you next time. It's getting close to release now. I mean, the game is quite polished and works nice. It's just sometimes I run into quite basic things like this that like, oh yeah, I don't support multiple gamepads. So it's both, I'm both fixing tiny things, but sometimes I have to run in and fix bigger things like this. Anyways, thanks for watching. See you next time.